on a Monday morning. We shall once more Nerdvenge. And it should be a good show. It should be a good week. And don't you worry. Don't you worry. I'm on my way. Woo! Yeah! What's up, everybody, and good morning, and welcome to the Monday show, to the Monday stream, to the Monday, to the day of Mon. We got a lot to go over today. I've got some good news. I've got some bad news. I've got some more good news, and I've got some more bad news. It's going to go like that, like a roller coaster ride. We're going to get into it all today. Crazy rumors about the Fantastic Four. Honestly, they sound ridiculous. Don't know if they're true. They're coming from 4chan, so we're going to take them with a grain of salt and a shot of penicillin. But they were fun enough that I thought we could talk about them together, see how we feel about them, whether we like the rumors or not. There's also a couple other smaller stories that we need to get into, including talking about James Gunn and the DCU, which announcement should be coming out tomorrow. Tomorrow. It's only a day away. And we'll break down how we're going to report on that and cover that, etc., etc. I'm pulling into the tower. I'll see you in a second. Do you guys ever do that? Like before you're gonna do something like stream or whatever, and you just shout into the heavens and you just like evoke the ancient spiritual wisdom of like your ancestors and the quantum realm and shit like that? Anybody else? Nobody else? Like before you go to work or whatever, maybe you start a shift or, you know, whatever you're doing, do you just stand there and try to go Super Saiyan? And just like, and then you just try? You know what? Let's take it a step further. Has anybody in the chat actually gone Super Saiyan before? Oh my God, dude. Greet pack. Holy shit. Okay, right on, Greet pack. Thanks, man. Thanks for the info. On the toilet once? Oh, man. That was probably pretty wild. Have you guys ever seen the videos of people that, like, go into supermarkets dressed as Goku and then, like, start, like, acting like they're going Super Saiyan? They're pretty funny. They're pretty funny. A-Bar, good questions. I'll go over all of those in a little bit. Okay, look, couple of things we got to do. Couple of things we got to get into. There are some changes coming to the channel, to the streaming schedule and whatnot. Now, if you're a Nerdventure member, you've probably been hearing me talk about this. We've talked about it on 3 separate occasions thus far. And, you know, I've been trying to, like, figure the streaming thing out, man, because I love streaming, but I need more time to work on videos, to work on my comics, to work on other things. And so what I have decided, for now, this is what it's going to be. We're going to stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Okay? I'm moving the Nerdvenger stream to Tuesday morning. So if you're a member, you're still going to get your Monday stream, your Tuesday stream, your Wednesday stream, and your Friday stream. Okay? So we're going to move the streams to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And what I decided was, yeah, we might change it again tomorrow. Just stay tuned. So tomorrow, I'll see you guys at 11 a.m. for the Nerdvenger stream, and we'll talk more about it privately behind the scenes. You guys can get all mad and all that sort of stuff. We'll talk about it then, okay? I did, Dominic. Thank you. So that's the first thing. The second thing, I'm going to do watch parties if I'm excited for a show If I'm excited enough to stay up to do the watch party, I'm going to do the watch party. Okay? But if the show starts like not being as good, or I'm like, dude, I don't know if I want to stay up for this, then it's over. It's done. I'm not going to stay up for it anymore. Okay? The metric that will decide whether or not we keep doing watch parties is if the show keeps being dope. Okay? And so this is what we're going to do. If we do a watch party on like kind of like a late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, right? And if we do the watch party, then that Wednesday stream, the public Wednesday stream, will be an evening stream. Meaning we will just pump that stream to like 6 or 7 p.m. I haven't quite decided yet. But we'll do that stream on a Wednesday night. If we're not doing watch parties, we're doing Wednesday streams at 11 a.m. like we always do. Okay? So that's kind of where we're at, guys. That's the changes that I'm going to make. And so what we'll do is we're just going to move Nerdvenger streams to Tuesday, and public streams are just going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now, my promise to you, and what I hope to do with this extra time, is to make the streams way more engaging, more compelling. We're going to have cool segments. I'm going to do more research. You know, like last week when we had the stream where we went over the big timeline for Marvel. That was such a fun stream, minus the glitches and how it cut out after Rob got off. Did Rob sabotage us, by the way? But no, in all seriousness, that was such a fun stream. And I left that stream feeling super jazzed and energized because I want more streams to be like that. I want them to be really, really fun and engaging. So I plan on having the streams for, you know, like, I don't want to put a particular time limit on them, but I expect them to be much longer streams. And for us to just have more fun and do more cool things. So that's sort of the first thing, okay? I have a couple more pieces of news that are kind of like a bummer, to be honest. But we got to do it. We got to talk about it. So the next thing, can you put the changes on the cork board in the cafeteria of the tower? Absolutely. Absolutely, we will get that. Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is a kind of a dad sweater, isn't it? The next thing we got to talk about, it's kind of a bummer. It's not the coolest thing, but there is a Nerdvenger that needs a little bit of help. And so I normally don't do stuff like this. Oh, let me see if I can get this working here. Okay, so I normally don't do stuff like this, but this is a fellow Nerdvenger. It seems like they're going through a really tough time, and it has to do with their dog, Chewy. And so Chewy needs like some major surgery. It's Angel Stark, the Nerdvenger guys that need some help. So I'm going to put this link in the Discord, and maybe some of the mods can help me even to put it in the chat. I'm going to donate to it later today. And if you know, only of course if you can afford to, if you have a little extra cash or something like that, maybe throw a little bit of money at this GoFundMe, because they have like massive bills to keep their family member around. So it's pretty wild, pretty sad. And so I just wanted to plug it again. You don't feel like super obligated, especially if you're in a tough financial spot. Then you know you don't have to. But I told Angel I would plug it and just try to at least get a little bit more attention on it. Okay. So there's that. Last bit of a little bit of bad news and kind of a bummer. No Nerd Theory tonight. Okay, I know. Oh no. What's going on? What's happening? Nothing, man. We just decided to take a break this week. News is a little bit light. I've got a lot going on. Theory has a lot going on. We're just taking a break. We honestly, guys, and a lot of you Nerdvengers, you already know this because you've been behind the scenes. We might be taking more breaks of Nerd Theory. We went like 2 years barely taking any breaks. And I think it's just going to be better for both Theory and myself that we occasionally take some breaks. We occasionally take some shows off. Now, when we're in the heat of it, I said Andor, Jesus Christ. When Ahsoka, when Mando 3, when some of these other shows are popping, absolutely, we will be there. We will be doing Nerd Theory. But for tonight, we are taking another night off, and I hope you understand. I have a big Star Wars video that I'm going to work on today, which I think you guys will find both informative and hilarious. And it has to do with the sequels and Rey and the coming movies and all these different things. I've talked about this in Nerd Theory streams. I've talked about it a bit on Twitter, but I haven't like put together a full ass video that talks about, what is going on with the future of Star Wars and how this is happening and what will the fan base do when they realize it's sequels coming back and stuff like that. So I am going to work on that video today. That should drop tomorrow. I've got a big video coming out today about Galactus and the Fantastic Four and some really fun stuff. So that'll be coming out later today for you guys. And I think that's everything, man. That's everything. The only other thing I'll say is if you guys want to help me out and, you know, you're enjoying the stream, if there's like a funny moment, something that's clippable that you think would work well as a short, that's kind of, you know, just funny or a really cool moment in the stream, clip it out and send it to me via Discord or via Twitter DMs, because we're trying to do more shorts and more clips and get the word out there for the streams and stuff like that. So if there's a funny moment in a stream, hit me up with a clip, and we'll try to do it as a short together. Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to get into the news? So first up today, Babu. No, it's not Babu. James Gunn. The word is that the big announcement, the DCU slate is happening tomorrow. I thought it might have happened today. I was like, oh, I thought today would be a good day to do it. Maybe they would do it today. No. So the first person I heard this from was actually Soups. And, you know, Soups isn't a scooper. But trust me when I say this, he has some sources and he has access to some Hollywood-esque people. That's all I'll say, and I hope he doesn't think I'm speaking out of pocket or whatever. But when Soup says some things, I take it, you know, serious compared to maybe some other folks. Now, on top of that, My Time to Shine Hello also came forward today and said that she feels as though the announcement will come out tomorrow. Okay, so the last day of the month, James Gunn gonna announce his DCU. And of course, I want to know what you guys think about it and how excited you are. I want to go over my 4 predictions again, just so that, you know, if it happens, I'll feel all cool. Because it might happen tomorrow, and then I'll do a video about it tomorrow, quick turnaround, and then we'll talk about it on Wednesday's stream. Okay? Again, here are my predictions. Number 1, that he will write and direct the Superman movie, and it will go into production by the end of the year. Actually, I think my first one was he's going to keep it vague about whether or not it's a full reboot or a soft reboot. So first one is he's going to keep it vague about the reboot stuff. Second one is he's going to write and direct a Superman movie and announce that it's going into production by the end of the year. The third announcement is that we're getting some Lantern projects, which I'm beginning to feel a little shaky on. I'm like, oh man, what if he doesn't do the fucking Lantern thing? Anyway, so the Lantern thing, that's one of mine. And then my last prediction is that he will announce a Justice League movie for the DCU that'll come out like within 3 or 4 years, before the end of the contract. And my rationale there, right, the logic there, is that he needs something to build towards. They need a North Star, and they need something that's going to just kind of excite people as we get further along, right? So that's those are my predictions, okay? But I actually have some new predictions that I want to go over as well. But I guess let's you know what? I kind of want to go to the polls. I want to see what you guys think about my predictions. We've done this before, but let's go to Poll Town. Let's have a little fun. Do you agree Gunn will keep it vague about total reboot versus soft reboot? Do you agree with my first prediction? Let me know. Let me know. Dude, everybody's like talking about The Last of Us, and I get it, and it's like, you know, it's cool. It's cool. I'm glad people are excited about it. But there's this like weird thing where I see online, everybody's like, dude, The Last of Us so crazy. I cried like a baby. oh my God, Last of Us, so good. I've never been so fucking sad in my life. And I'm like, what is going on, dude? Like, what? Like, what is happening? Like, why are we all so excited to feel absolutely terrible and to be so sad? I see all the discussion about it, and I feel affirmed in my decision to not watch the show. I'm just saying, like, it just feels weird. It's a weird vibe. It wasn't that sad. I don't know, bro. People are saying it's real sad, dude. People are like, oh my God, dude. I was taken back to traumatic experiences of my past. Unbelievable. Holy crap, I lost all faith and happiness that was floating in my soul. And they're excited, dude. They're like, dude, I love it. I'm so miserable now. Good for you guys. You know, good for you. I'm glad. I hope the show wins all the awards and whatever. Okay, so 84% of you agree with my first point. Cool. Cool. Next point. Do you agree that Gunn will write and direct the Superman movie? Let's just go with this one because it's like too complicated to be like, and also will be put into production by the end of the year. We don't agree. We just don't want to get banned. Well, then we're doing something right. Keep these motherfuckers in line, Trinity. Keep them in line. Gunn will ruin Superman. Oof, I hope not. I certainly hope not. Lanterns are tricky, man. What's the shirt? What's the shirt? It says Rad Dad on it. And it's actually not cringe. We had it tested for cringe. It's not. It's really cool. Especially with a dad sweater on top. Don't you fucking judge. You don't know fashion? Y'all don't know fashion? You don't know? So don't act like you do. Sheesh. Who's the rad dad? It's me! I disagree that the sadness of The Last of Us cannot reaffirm our faith in humanity. It was love for another human, and it was beautiful. Okay, well hey, look, that sounds very nice, and I'm very happy that it fulfilled your deep desire to visit horrible aspects of the human experience and just relive some of the worst things that we have to deal with and go through, and that the darkness and just certitude, I don't know if that's a word, of your own doom and demise and losing all the things that you love is compelling and exciting. I am honestly happy for your sadness. I am happy for your. I mean that. I really mean that. You know what I mean? Okay, so it looks like 75% of you agree with me there. Off to a good start. Okay, next one. This one might be different. Do you agree Gunn will announce lantern projects? And also, why can't I spell lantern? Oh, probably because of that. Boom. Lee, what's up, brother? Since there's no Nerd Theory tonight, I'll catch you on the replay tonight on my way home from work. Have a phenomenal day, Josh. Thanks, Lee. I appreciate you, brother. Bro, no one cares? What? About lanterns? Man, you know what? Honestly, that is low-key one of the greatest failures of the current DC live-action, whatever you want to call it. The fact that that James Gunn, and you know what? Give James Gunn credit where credit is due, which is almost never, but we'll do it. He did take a pretty obscure comic book team in the Guardians of the Galaxy and make them popular and make them fun and make people want to go out and watch those movies. The fact that DC hasn't done that, like the fact that the Guardians are this like established, cool, mainstream, recognizable thing, but the fucking Green Lanterns are not, it is atrocity. It is horrible. It makes me sad in the way that The Last of Us makes the rest of you sad. It sucks. It sucks. So, hopefully, maybe, possibly, Gunn can do some good shit with the Lanterns, man. I will forgive all of James Gunn's transgressions, which really honestly are not all that much. I will forgive him of all of sins past, like a fucking padre flicking holy water into his eyeballs, if he just nails the Lanterns. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want. That's what I want. I'll tell you guys, I'll make you guys a deal right now. I will make you a deal right now. If James Gunn announces Lantern projects, I will go ham on the I was wrong about James Gunn. I love James Gunn. I will be so proud. I'll make a James Gunn t-shirt. I'll make a James Gunn no, not bald. No. I'll make a James Gunn t-shirt. And I'll wear it. Like, literally a shirt with James Gunn's head. It says, I was wrong about Gunn. You know? If he does it. Shave your head if he doesn't? No! You guys are crazy, man. You guys are crazy. Okay, so 61% of you think yes. That's lower than the other ones, and I totally understand it. It seems as though that is probably going to be a long shot. Now, this one, man, I really want to see where you guys are at with this. Do you agree that Gunn will announce a Justice League movie? Make a shirt with the tweet about you? Ooh. I mean, I could probably, yeah. Gun control. Ooh, I like that. I like that. What up, Greek? No, just bring back Nerd Theory. Dude, Nerd Theory's not gone. We're just taking a break. We're just taking a Monday off. Yes, but not tomorrow? Interesting. So this one's around that 60% mark so far as well, and I totally get it. Like that would be a very kind of surprising, bold move if he did. I do strongly feel that that's the move, though. Straight out of... Oh, dude, that would be kind of funny, though. Straight out of the basement or something like that. Yeah, we'll think about it. We'll think about it. My parents took a break 12 years ago. I don't know what that means, but sorry. I'm sure he'll come back with the milk soon. Question mark. Make a bet to not cut your hair till it reaches your shoulders. That would be kind of fun. Elisa would probably go crazy, but that would be fun. Yeah, that'd be fun. Okay, so there's all of my main predictions. Now, I've actually got a couple other predictions. I've been thinking about this. I was thinking about it last night, okay? Got a couple predictions. Number one, I think 90% of people are going to turn on Gunn after he makes this announcement. I know! And I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. You're like, Josh, you're just a hater. Josh, you're just mad because James Gunn said you live in the basement and shit. James Gunn, you just a hater. No. I thought about it. I did some meditation. I was thinking about it. I'm just like, dude, look, this whole time we've been left in mystery. We've been, left to wonder, question, imagine. And I think the version of the announcement we all have in our head is going to be way fucking better than whatever stupid ass shit James Gunn does tomorrow. I'm calling it right now. When we fire up the stream on Wednesday, we shall be flooded with people that are like, I can't believe how bad that was. Oh my God, James Gunn. I don't know. So that's my first prediction, okay? Of the new predictions. Second new prediction. Way too much Harley Quinn. How much is too much Harley Quinn? I don't know, but we're about to find out. Yeah. Way too much. I think Josh will lead the mad at James Gunn mob. No, I would never do something like that. We're organizing tomorrow at 4 p.m. Show up with your signs. I would never do that. So we'll see. All of this waiting, all of this mystery, soon to be done. I want to show you guys something else too. Check this out. This is from Dave Bautista. It's kind of crazy. So he confirms that there's a DCU reboot. He says, I talked to James about it. The direction he's going, completely rebooting the whole universe. He's starting from scratch and making everything younger and fresher. And I think that's the ideal path. Well, wow, wee wah. Wow, wee wah. Go off, Dave. Hey, Dave, go off, baby. So, I mean, I don't know, like did he really? Like, did he really? And, like, is he saying, because, you know, Bautista's making it seem like it's a total reboot and he's starting from scratch. Like, what do you guys think, man? Do you think it, because I'm a fan, I'm total reboot. I am team total reboot. I want the total reboot. I'm, you know, younger, like, I don't know, fresher. That word fucking frightens the shit out of me. We're gonna make it fresh. I don't like that, you know. But yeah, so he's kind of claiming that it's a total reboot. Now, the thing is, and I think this is kind of where a lot of us have been thinking, when he's saying total reboot, he's likely talking of the Justice League, of sort of the main cast and the main, you know, all of that, right? He could technically reboot the DCU and still keep some of these other characters, like, you know, his wife, Amanda Waller, Peacemaker, etc. That could work. I don't know. To me, this is really interesting because, like, you know, it's Bautista coming out and saying, like, literally, hey, I talked to James Gunn about it. He's literally rebooting the whole thing. It's young people. It's going to be fresh, right? I wonder how James feels about this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think this means something? Like, if you think this actually is, like, 100% true, throw a 1 into the chat. I'm just curious. Because wouldn't that be wild if the day before it all happened, Dave Bautista literally just told us? Wow, you guys think so, huh? Wow, okay. Okay, so is Bautista the new Scoopa King? Is he King Scoopa? Why the hell is Dave saying this shit, though? I don't know, brother. I couldn't tell you. Okay, next question. Do you think Dave knew he shouldn't say this? Like, is he just, you know, shooting from the hip? You know, just speaking out of class? Like, does he know he's not supposed to do this? Or is Bautista like, well, I'm not doing superhero shit anymore, so screw that. Brain fart? Dave gonna Dave? He knows. Wow. It's probably totally innocent. I mean, maybe. Maybe Bautista's like, James Gunn tried to make me into a real dumb character. And he made Drax this horrible thing that I can't wait to get finished with, so I'm going to throw him under the bus here. I don't know. Just fucking, I don't know, dude. I don't know. So we'll see. It's kind of crazy. Okay, next story. Next thing I wanted to talk about. Really interesting, especially for us Marvel fans. Where's this shit at here? Okay. So we're going to watch a little bit of a Grace Randolph video. Get it out of your system. Grace Randolph! Grace fucking Randolph! Some of you guys just like hate on Grace. It's so wild. Okay, but the reason we want to watch this is because this has to do with Nielsen originals from last year. And the sort of like headline here and the thing that she went with for her title, and I do think it's interesting, is the fact that The Boys beat Marvel and Star Wars. Pretty crazy. Let's watch this and we'll react together.
The original shows. Netflix has 13 out of the 15. But look, Ozark, by the way, is second place. Yeah.
Bro, that is crazy. One of the things that you'll notice when you just look at a lot of the Nielsen stuff is like, dude, Netflix, for as shaky as, you know, they had a fiscal year last year, and I know like the stock price took a hit and people were like, oh, they're losing subscribers for the first time ever. They still absolutely dominate streaming. They dominate it, dude. Do you see anything Disney
that show's
Plus on
definitely
here?
Coming back. I believe in a few years, Ozark will return. But only Amazon Prime was able to get in here as well, with 2 spots in the top 15. Rings of Power making the list, but not House of the Dragon. HBO splitting their audience between 2 services continues to really hurt them when it comes to headlines that are crucial in the streaming wars.
It's true. And so, like, that's kind of an interesting point as well. House of the Dragon, we think, according to a lot of what they were saying, House of the Dragon just dominated and kept getting bigger and bigger. But the problem is that they split their viewership between HBO Max and actual HBO. Like, a ton of people still watch the HBO shows on HBO on cable. And they just, like, watch it live as it's airing. And so the numbers get a little bit split. But it's so crazy that Rings of Power gets into the top 15 and not House of the Dragon.
As I said, though, I think there are some old school contracts that are probably keeping them from consolidating. It's a mess, though. The real shocker, though, is that not only is there not a single Disney Plus show on this list, but that Amazon Prime's The Boys did make the list. And it's actually not, it's not at the very bottom even. It's like a solid entry, beating out Marvel and Star Wars content. Now, to be fair, Nielsen counts all seasons, so The Boys is working with 24 episodes here for 3 seasons, while Mando is the only Disney Plus Star Wars or Marvel show so far to have aired a second season. We'll talk about Loki in a moment, and that second season wasn't during 2022.
Okay, so really, really interesting. So let's break that down. Not a single Disney Plus show entered the top 15 in originals in 2022. Now, the part that she just talked about, right, the sort of caveat to it all, is the fact that they are looking at total minutes viewed, total watch time for the entire show. And so when a new season comes out, you will go back and watch the other seasons. This happens for a lot of people, or people that are kind of coming in to the thing that want to watch the new show, or the older seasons before the new season. That's a huge part of it, okay? But to be honest with you, like, even though that is a caveat and it totally is something that should be taken into consideration, at the end of the day, what is the purpose of these streaming shows? Like, what is the purpose of them? It is to have people watching them, to have people then thinking of them as a valuable thing to have, therefore justifying holding that subscription for a long, long time. The ultimate thing is you want people to sign up and you want to avoid churn. So the whole idea is the more people are on your platform, the more that when they go to make a cut in their budget or they go to decide what things are they going to purchase, the more valuable they consider your service to be. Like, that's it. That's the whole game. And so to honestly not have, with the quality of IP that Disney has, to not have anything in the top 15 is fucking crazy, dude. And, you know, you would say, of course, yeah, there's, you know, Mando's the only show that has 2 seasons. But here's the thing. Why didn't the Book of Boba Fett, that is a total mid show, and then it has a couple of Mando episodes in it, why didn't the Book of Boba Fett push the Mandalorian season 1 and season 2 up into this scale? Because just by numbers, if it was actually re-engaging the interest, you should see the Mandalorian on this chart. It's crazy. And this is also the other thing that there's that war going on in the boardroom for Disney right now, right? And one of the things that the new company, this dude and this sort of activist group that's trying to, change things for Disney and the board, right? One of the things that they say on their website is they specifically call out the fact that despite having this IP that they paid billions of dollars to get, they are not able to compete with Netflix and Prime Video in these types of statistics here, right? And as she's going to talk about in a second here, like, you might think like, oh, dude, this doesn't matter, or oh, like, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. Bro, The Boys is going to use this in their marketing. 100% they're going to use it in their marketing. And marketing is powerful, and it is possible that just some normie-ass people are literally going to be fed the narrative that The Boys is better superhero content than anything Marvel does on Disney Plus. And that could affect viewership 100%. Like, that's how all of these things kind of tie together. And so it's really crazy because, of course, like, I'm a big fan of Star Wars. I'm a big fan of Marvel, and I want them to be doing better. But I think this is like almost as clear a sign as can possibly be shown that Disney is not actually competing. They're not succeeding with their Disney Plus shows, and they have this incredible IP. Incredible IP. It's wild.
But overall, for The Boys, this is an incredible achievement and headline, and allows The Boys to take yet another step towards legitimacy in the industry. Anthony Starr's recent acting nominations have also helped. The Boys' social media is already making use of this, as they should.
Yeah,
and
see?
you will be sure to see it played up when season 4 debuts.
25 million people saw this, dude.
2023, the end of
25 million people saw this. 25 million motherfuckers saw that The Boys outperformed all of Marvel Studios' Disney Plus series. Bro. They got to get their shit together. They just have to. They have to. And Jake, that is incredibly generous. Holy shit, man. I really appreciate that. And look, that's really generous. I would just say, if you want to become a Nerdventure member, I mean, dude, it's like, it comes with all these benefits. Obviously you get access to the behind the scenes streams. You get the emojis. You get 20% off our merch with a coupon code all year round. You get access to all sorts of crazy stuff, but there are then other benefits that are reported. Your results may vary. You get a little taller. You get growth where you want it. You shrink where you want to be shrunk. IQ up. Financial situations turning around. Some people have reported good luck. Look, results may vary, but it'll literally be the best purchase you ever make in your entire life. So just do it. Okay.
This year. And then during the summer of this year, we're getting The Boys' first live-action spin-off, Gen V, which will only build this empire. You've got to love that The Boys is so good, it's becoming the very thing it's lampooning. With the benefit of no real expectations from the source material, they vaguely follow it. But it's such a small fandom, and they do such a good job, everyone's fine with the changes that they've made. And they also don't have any parent company concerns. Amazon's like, just make us competitive. Right, and they're doing it. Mm-hmm. Amazon, by the way, is hoping to get multiple franchises going. With Rings of Power, hey, it is number 15 on this list with only 8 episodes. I mean, that is
fucking crazy, dude.
And they just went all in themselves on Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider, Warhammer, God of War. Amazon's going to be a real player in the next couple of years. And again, like, so some of this, right, like, we've been talking about, right? This has been an ongoing discussion with us, the community, the fandom. And at least on the Marvel side of things, we do believe they're going to consolidate. They're taking their time, and they're going to put quality over quantity moving forward. And so, when it comes to Star Wars, I don't know. It's hard to say, because there are, of course, the Dan and the Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni stuff. And, Mando 3, like, that trailer popped. It absolutely popped. And I expect Mando 3 to have pretty good viewership. Will you see The Mandalorian pop up in the top 15 at the end of this year? We would hope so. Or Star Wars fans would hope so, right? And then, of course, Ahsoka has an opportunity to be very, very big. And then they've got, like, Skeleton Crew. But I don't know, man. It's tough. Like, if they're going to continue to put stuff out I mean, Andor, first of all, and I know, I don't even want to go hard on Andor because I know a lot of you guys really like it, but Andor is probably not even in the top 50 of these things. It wildly underperformed from the perspective of the business side of Star Wars. I don't even know why you would do a second season for that show. But even shows like Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi, like, guys, can you believe that Kenobi isn't on this list? Rings of Power is on with 8 episodes, but Kenobi doesn't crack in? I mean, dude, Kenobi had the promise of being the biggest thing Star Wars had ever done on Disney Plus, and maybe even one of the biggest things Star Wars had ever done. It had the ingredients. You're bringing back Hayden Christensen, Ewan fucking McGregor from the prequels, dude? Like, it had the opportunity. And I don't know where it's at past 15, but my gut tells me it's not even close. So it's like, yo, like, and to be honest with you, like Carl said, Rings of Power was better. I didn't even finish Rings of Power. I found it to be incredibly boring, but it was better than Kenobi because Kenobi was a goddamn dumpster fire. It was horrible. It was, I don't even know how to explain Kenobi, dude. What the fuck? So just wanted to bring this up, wanted to kind of go over it with you guys because I know some people, when I have been talking about these shows underperforming and talking about, sort of the trouble with these Disney brands, some of you guys are like, I don't see it, or I think you're pulling this out of your ass, or like, whatever. Numbers like these don't lie, bro. Like, this is what it is. And so I think that, Disney and the separate studios under Disney, they need to make some changes. 100% they need to make some changes, and hopefully they will. Curious, what do you guys make of this? What do you guys think of this? I mean, there's two sides, really. But one side is like, holy shit, The Boys, dude. Like, The Boys is kind of rocking and rolling, bro. Like, that is wild. Like, I don't know how, like, however you slice it, that is wild. Because I like The Boys, but I had no idea that The Boys was reaching this level of popular out there. And if it just kind of keeps going, damn. That's crazy. So that's one side of it. The other side, though, is like Marvel and Disney. Yeah. What do you think? Boys was good. Could use less penis in it, but other than that, it was good. Yeah, agreed. Hard agreed. Pause. Boys is 10 out of 10. I mean, The Boys is pretty fucking solid. It's pretty solid, dude. And again, an example of a show that I think does wokeness and yet is incredibly successful. It shows that the whole get broke go woke thing is just not always true. Because I think that The Boys is very political. It's pretty wild. It's very wild. You know what else is shocking about this is the fucking Umbrella Academy. But I guess that just goes to show that like having a lot of other seasons can really pad those numbers and help it. You know what I mean? It's kind of interesting. Okay, interesting story. We're not even into the main rumors yet, and we're still having a good time. Now, the last thing I want to talk about here is Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Let me see if I can just get this pulled up for you guys. Where's it at? Where's the picture? Did he not post it on his tweeters? Okay, here we go. Let's look this up. I'm curious as to what you guys think about this. So Jeffrey Dean Morgan posted on his Instagrams the second and third massive compendiums of Invincible. And it says here, just a man reading the best superhero comic in the universe. Nothing else to see here. Doing a little reading thanks to Robert Kirkman and Invincible HQ. Now, the story that people are running with is that he's likely joining the cast of the show as like a voice actor, right? Which is cool. And would be great. And by the way, there's so many cool characters. Like, I think Grand Regent Thrag is the choice that I would make for him. One of the Voltramite people. Very interesting character. We're not going to like go too crazy and like spoil anything from the books, but that's kind of my take there, what I think it could be going on. But you know what else I thought about, guys? That would be kind of wild. What if he's going to be in the live action version of Invincible? Because correct me if I'm wrong here. Aren't they doing a live action version of Invincible? Was that ever like really talked about? They're developing it? Yeah, I thought so, right? Dude, live action Omni-Man. That's the play. That's the move, man. That is the move. And it would be really cool to like see him do the show either way. So like I'm gonna be excited either way, right? He's awesome, got a great voice. He would be really great in the show. But also like just in Watchmen and like as the comedian and stuff, like really cool. So yeah, if he were to do live action Omni-Man, I think that would be fucking awesome. But that sort of brought a question up as I was thinking about this last night. If they do live action Invincible, do you guys want them to just do the same story? Like the same story from the comics that the show is doing? Because isn't that going to feel a little played out? Like, would you want to see live action Invincible do the exact same story? Because, like, I don't know, man. Like, I kind of feel like the animated series is almost flawless. And it's, like, really well put together. And some of the changes they make from the comics are brilliant. And it's a really well put together show. And I'm just like, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know if I want to watch again him put Mark through the subway and, do the meme like this and kill all of the other heroes and shit like that. No one really cares about cartoons. You don't say that! You don't say that, you cartoon hating motherfucker! You don't say that! Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be cool. It's kind of one of those interesting things to me where I was like, well, the show kind of did it so well. And like in anime, like, dude, like, has there ever, like, let me ask you guys this. Has there ever been a good manga/anime adaptation in live action? Ever. And I thought the closest one might have been that new Cowboy Bebop that got fucking canceled after one season, right? Like, there kind of hasn't been, right? Now, animes do incredible adaptations of manga. And that's a really great relationship that they have. And the anime is often different than the manga. And I feel a similarity going on between the Invincible comic book and the Invincible show, right? Ghost in the Shell was all right. It actually was decent. It was mad decent. I thought it was okay. Alita Battle Angel was actually pretty good too. The Bleach one was decent. Okay, I haven't seen it. I didn't see that. But yeah, it just had me thinking, man. I was like, I don't even know how I feel about this. I mean, I tell you, either way, I just wish the show was coming out. Like, dude, Invincible, late 2023, I get it. It's hard, blah, blah, blah. Dude, I wish that show was coming out sooner, man. Invincible's so damn good. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Okay, so that's kind of the... So that's the main stuff that's... the main news stories that I wanted to go over. Now let's talk about rumors, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about rumors and theories and theory rumors and reports and rumor reports and reports of leaks and leaks about reports and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, guys? Okay, let's go over this. It's kind of interesting. Now, again, this is coming from 4chan. Okay, so take a shot of penicillin. Take an extra grain of salt. It's coming from 4chan! But it's also posted over on the Marvel Studios Spoilers subreddit. I don't know why they do this. And by the way, there have been accurate 4chan leaks. In fact, a lot of the accurate plot leaks begin on 4chan, believe it or not. Believe it or not, yeah. Okay, first up. Theories for Shazam 3? Shazam 3? Sorry, that was a good one. Okay, John Krasinski is not Reed. Ah, shit. Here we go again. Yeah, it seems like Krasinski's not going to be Reed. I mean, this has been established from a lot of it. Look, I'd love to see him come back in some capacity, like 838 Reed or whatever, but it seems like he's not going to be 616 Reed. Pour one out. Pour one out. Now, this next one is kind of interesting. Ryan Gosling, the Goss, is in talks to play Silver Surfer, but not for this movie. Silver Surfer was part of an earlier Fantastic Four draft, but he's since been cut, and Gosling, if he signs, will debut on a special presentation. So first up, how do we feel about the Goss being Silver Surfer? Dude, Overbound Game Studio is super fired up about it. Yo! He should be Doom? Oh, God. Oh, God. No. That's not bad. It should be Hayden. Hayden would be cool for sure. Better than him being Reed, yeah. Well, it's kind of interesting. We're going to talk a lot about Goss, actually, in this whole segment here. I have an interesting Goss take in a little bit, too. But, okay, so this is either true or somebody that's really reading the tea leaves that's making shit up in a really convincing way. Because you had Jeff Snyder talking about how Ryan Gosling was attached to the Fantastic Four film, okay? Later, Snyder came out, and I actually have this in my video. The video that drops later today, go check it out. Watch it twice, 3 times probably. It'll change your life. So Snyder later came out and said, that's an old rumor. It was just some offbeat sentence I said in the podcast. People took it way out of context. Okay. On top of that, My Time to Shine Hello, who originally said that the Silver Surfer was going to be in the Fantastic Four movie, but Galactus will not be in it. She actually changed her tune and said that now Galactus is the main villain of the Fantastic Four movie. My read on that is that they did indeed change the script for the Fantastic Four. And originally they were going to do Silver Surfer and maybe lead to Galactus. And Feige basically came in and was like, no, fuck that, Galactus, no! And maybe they're taking Silver Surfer out. Now, for my part here, I actually do think Gosling could be a very good Silver Surfer. It would be really interesting to see. Like, I wonder what like direction they would go with like the design, because I actually think this is one of the very few things that the first Fantastic Four franchise nailed was the look of the Silver Surfer. And I loved James Earl Jones voicing the Silver Surfer. That shit was cool. Okay? So Gosling as Silver Surfer, I could kind of see it. I could see it. I could see it. What do you guys think? Yes? No? Maybe so? Could be cool. This next one's pretty crazy, too. It was Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah, like I said. 100%. Jared, damn it! Okay, Galactus is the main villain of the movie and will be played by either Dennis Quaid or Keanu Reeves. Guys, can we talk about Keanu Reeves as Galactus? Keanu Reeves. I mean, what do you guys think? Like, what's your take on that? Keanu Reeves. I think he should go full like Bill and Ted. Be like, I am Galactus, and I'm hungry AF for some planets, man. You know, like, come on, like, let's get bold in the MCU. You know. Norrin Rad, you silly bitch. I can't eat this planet. I'm lactose intolerant. You know, something like that. Like, I think that's, you know, good. Yeah. You know, because we're worried, you know, we get worried a little bit about the tone, and, you know, we get worried sometimes that maybe Marvel's going a little bit too goofy in ways. So, you know, a good way to just combat this right away would be Keanu Dracula. That's a deep cut. As Galactus. Pretty crazy, right? So now let's talk about Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid, actually, I could see it. You know what I mean? Like, I could see Dennis Quaid as Galactus. I think that could work. How is Josh not writing Secret Wars? True, double true. I don't know, bro. They don't recognize my talents. But Quaid could be good. Quaid could be really, really fun. But, I mean, talk about shocking, man. I thought of many different roles that Keanu could play. And Galactus, I'm just going to say it, the thought never entered my mind. Not once until I lay my eyes upon this 4chan debauchery did I ever consider Keanu Reeves for Galactus. Holy shit. Okay, we'll see. Now, this next one gave me a boner. Adam Driver, not in the running for Reed, but actually Doom. Some people wait a lifetime for a moment like this. Yeah. Boner. Let's get it, dude. Dude, Adam Driver as Dr. Doom. Boner. Love it, dude. He's imposing. He's a huge dude. He's got these massive Big Ben-esque, like, you know, the memes about him when they stretched him out to make him look so wide because he's wide as hell. Huge, dude. He's such an incredible performer, even from behind a mask, as we saw during the sequel trilogy movies. Adam Driver was incredible. He's such a great performer, man. I just think he would be so good for Dr. Doom. And especially, hopefully, you know, in a post-Secret Wars world, they have huge plans for Dr. Doom. Like, I hope so. They better. Man, that would be great. So, that one's pretty cool, man. That one's pretty cool, and I'm quite excited about it. If it is true. If it is true. All right, next up. Feige wants the Fantastic Four to have persons of color characters, and Reed is likely going this route. Now, this one's really interesting. I've got a couple of things to say. Now, first of all, I think the surface level, like, culture war, low-hanging fruit argument is going to be like, woke, or, you know, completely reasonable. You know, I'm not interested in that. I'm really not. What's more interesting is this true? Because a long time ago, Andy Signor had a scoop that the Fantastic Four were going to be persons of color, and that's the route they were going to go. And that's what this was a long time ago, back when Andy was really doing the scoop game. He doesn't really do that as much anymore, but that was like the first place that I heard it. Okay, and as we've been following the rumor mill for the Fantastic Four characters, it would appear, we're not certain, but it would appear that they are looking at all kinds of different folks. All kinds of different folks, right? So definitely, it seems like they've been looking at people like Diego Luna, maybe even what's Denzel's kid's name again? I don't know. I would, is it something David Washington or whatever? Possibly looking at him. Possibly looking at there was like a Spanish gal that we're looking at for Sue. So there's like a lot of different like things that they're looking at, but there's also like reports of other people that just seem like straight up average, like white people. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I don't know exactly what he's cooking, and I find it interesting that they're wording it in such a way that it's like Feige wants the Fantastic Four to have persons of color. The only thing that I've heard as far as Shackman, John David, yeah, the only thing I've heard as far as Shackman is that he wants it to be very comic book accurate. Which, if like that's just based on what you're going for, you would think like, oh, so he wants like a white Fantastic Four just based off comics. But I don't know. Maybe he's talking about like other things than, you know, that aspect of it. So it's kind of interesting. I don't really know. I mean, my whole thing on this is, especially if you do the multiverse and you do different reads, you can have all kinds of different reads. If you've ever read that story by Jonathan Hickman and you go into the Council of Reads, bro, there's all kinds of reads. All kinds of reads. You know? And it goes beyond even human, right? So you can have that. I guess the question would be like, who are the staple Fantastic Four members? I'm not really sure. The next bit is Fantastic Four members are going to be in their 30s minus Johnny, who will be played by an actor in his 20s. So that's kind of interesting. That might not seem that interesting on the surface level, but that is interesting. Because if you think about a lot of the status quo characters in Marvel right now, you think about a Doctor Strange, you know? You think about Bruce Banner, Robert Downey Jr. if he comes back, War Machine, Rhodey. Bro, there's a lot of old heads. A lot of old heads. So it's interesting that they would want the Fantastic Four to be in their 30s and to be younger. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of like Reed being the same age as like Stephen Strange. You know? And it's a similar vibe to like what I feel with regards to James Gunn and his like young person reboot thing. It's like, I don't know if I need that. I don't know if I want that. I'm okay with an older, more grizzled, you know, version of the Fantastic Four. I don't know. That's just me. I wonder what you guys think about that. Mid-age, not younger. I mean, sure, because 30s, you know, you get 35 and up, and yeah, you're kind of in that target area. But if you're like really close to 30, like especially in Hollywood, like a Hollywood 30 looks really young. And I mean, look at Paul Rudd. That dude's 80 years old, and he looks like he's 24. You know? Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it, to be honest. But it is what it is. Okay. So now we got to look some people up, because I don't know any of these people. Some of the names heard floating around for the Fantastic Four include Kyle Allen. Who's Kyle Allen? A football player? Kyle Allen, the football player? Okay, Kyle Allen. He was in like West Side Story or some shit? I mean, he kind of looks like Reed. Immediately looks like Reed to me. Who is this guy? I suppose he could be Johnny, too. How old is he? Because maybe that could tell us, like, where he... So he was born in 94. So he's, like... He's in his 30s. See, that's what I mean. It's like, this dude's in his 30s. That's Hollywood 30. Interesting. Okay. Jeremy Allen White. I don't know who this is. Oh, okay. I've seen this dude. I've seen this dude before. Who's this guy? Like Ben Grimm? That looks like a pretty solid Ben Grimm. This guy's Molecule Man? He could be Molecule Man, 100%. Okay. Interesting. Let's see here. Carrie Mulligan. Who's this? For Sue Storm. So here's a really weird question. Why is this leak saying he wants persons of color, and yet all of the actors he lists are not... Are we going to run into some persons of color here? I mean, I guess Diego at the end, right? Oh, fuck. Who's this? Okay, so this dude maybe could be Reed. Okay, so I could actually kind of see this. Now, this is the other point that I wanted to make about Goss. Is because, you know, I know when this whole, like, race-bending thing gets, you know, comes up, some people get really butthurt, and some people are just purists of, like, the comic book version or whatever, right? But, guys, we talked about Ryan Gosling last week, and we went through every single Fantastic Four member, including Sue Storm. And the reality is, that's a white dude that's not a good fit for any of them. Any of them. Maybe he could do it for Johnny. Maybe. And I think he'd actually work as Ben. But, dude, this is a white dude that's not good for any of them. So I don't think it's as simple as, like, white and black. Right? To me, I look for the same thing in a white actor as I do in a black actor. And that is, could I see you as the role? Do you embody characteristics that have become familiar to me with regards to the character? And, I mean, I don't know much about this guy, but just by the look of him, it's kind of got a Reed Richards look to me. Could work as Reed to me. You know? But I don't know. It's kind of interesting. We'll see. What are the other ones here? Elizabeth. Who dat? Oh, she could be Sue. Yo, she's in a lot of different things. I've seen her in some stuff. She's in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, she's in Tenet. Yeah. She could be a good Sue. Namor would be like, yes, cast her as Sue. Okay, Logan. Let's check this Logan person out. I don't know these, but... Okay. So this could be Johnny. Right? It kind of looks like Reed right here, though. It still kind of looks like Johnny. He could be Johnny, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. And then we have Diego Luna. We all know about Diego Luna, okay? Now, this is kind of interesting. Simon Baker plays the Molecule Man. Here's Simon Baker right here. Now, I'm not familiar with this dude, really. But, I could see it, man. Where's, like, a good picture of this dude? The hell? This is the pictures on IMDb. So this guy is related to Sasquatch because he just appears in photos blurry. Okay, so there's like kind of a picture of him. But you know, the crazy, like, low-key crazy part of this is like, bro, they're doing the Molecule Man? Like, they're just straight up doing the Molecule Man? Holy shit. If they just did the Molecule Man, and it's this guy, and that would imply that they have this, like, big plan for him, right? Be introduced in the movie, have a bigger role in Secret Wars. Like, that's kind of mind-blowing to me. Like, that's kind of mind-blowing. Molecule Man? I'm in. No idea when they plan to announce the casting, as they're still figuring stuff out. A new draft was delivered just 2 weeks ago. Would guess San Diego Comic-Con, though. Yeah, I bet they're going to do it at San Diego Comic-Con. And a lot of this stuff, like, again, we don't even know if this shit's true. Take it with salt. Take it with penicillin. Take it with a chaser. Take it how you want. But if this is true, it does line up with what we think is going on with the process right now. Because it does feel like some shit changed. Silver Surfer, wait, no, now it's Galactus, you know, and the 60s stuff and all that other stuff. Again, I have a big video today breaking down even more information about it, stuff that I'm pretty confident is true with regards to Galactus and stuff like that. So check that video out later. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think about like this kind of stuff? Is this cool? Are you excited about Galactus? Adam Driver as Doom? You know, some of the stuff seems kind of hype. Kevin Hart for Bishop. Nah. Dude, a lot of people were talking about Aldous Hodge as T'Challa, like a multiversal version of T'Challa, or like if they recast T'Challa. I would like that a lot, but he could also do Bishop, bruh. That shit would be hype. The Rock as Sue Storm. Oh, dude, 100%. That would be incredible. Fauci as Reed Richards, 100%. But then you have to throw in Zachary Levi as Sue Storm, just to make it even. Elon Musk as Doctor Doom. That would actually be pretty cool. Dude, I loved Aldous Hodge in Black Adam. He was dope, bro. I want you to be Doctor Doom, says Baby Bug. Oh, thanks, Baby Bug. That's so kind. That's so nice, man. Or are you saying that I'm ugly and I need to cover up my face? What is it? What is it? Fuck you, Baby Bug. Damn. Simon Baker was in Lane of the Dead. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Kevin Hart as Howard the Duck. Okay, I can see it. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. You are the doorman? You don't say that. You don't say that. Okay, so that's kind of all the news I have for you guys. So a couple of different things. We could, of course, get into Q&A. We could go over super chats, member chats, etc. But we could also watch another video if you want. There is a new culty video out. I think Paul from Heavy of Spoilers. Oh, thanks, Baby Bug. See, I knew we had something special. You guys want to do a video? Yeah, I think Paul put out a new video or something too, right? Somebody was talking about it. Watch a video, goddammit. Okay, jeez. Jeez. Let's watch more Grace. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily mind that, but other people would freak out probably. Don't like the casting of Tanner Buchanan as Human Torch. Who's Tanner Buchanan? Who's Tanner Buchanan? I don't even know who that is. Yeah. Paul and Grace sound like a sitcom. They kind of do, don't they? Huh. Cobra Kai guy. How's Vox Machina so far? It's good. I like Vox Machina so far. A lot of interesting stuff going on in that show, for sure. Let me peek at something. Okay. Let's see here. Cause like Culty did a new video, and I love my kind of Culty videos. I love my kind of Culty videos. And this one's about Wolverine, bruh. And Red Hulk and the Sentry. I mean, come on, bruh. Come on. Should we do it? Should we do it? Was it pretty good? All right, I think we should do this. Come on. Come on. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. 100% Greet Pack. 100%. That's... Yeah. Exactly. You got it. You nailed it. All right, are you guys ready for some more kind of culty? By the way, please go like this video, go watch this video, go put it on 3 different devices in the background and let that watch time accumulate for culty, because he's one of the best in the game, and his videos should be popping way more than they are. Okay, let's get into it.
We're going in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Tell me it will be okay.
What up,
It'll be okay.
Everyone, Tay here. I hope you're all doing lovely today.
I am doing lovely, actually. Are you guys doing lovely? Let me know in the chat. And also, Yava Trooper, It'll be okay.
And today what I want to talk about in this video is a bunch of stuff regarding the Thunderbolts and Captain America 4 and Wolverine and mutants in the MCU.
Let's go!
Because back in December, a few weeks ago, a bunch of plot leaks started dropping online for the Thunderbolts and Captain America 4. And I should note that I actually recorded most of the audio for this video back in December when these leaks first came out, but then I had to go out of town for the holidays and didn't get a chance to finish it then, so I quickly finished it up now, and I still wanted to release it because even though the leaks came out last month, it's still a fun Thunderbolts Captain America Wolverine video. Which, before I go on, I should actually probably clarify that real quick, that in this video, we are going to be talking about the eventual 616 version of Wolverine that has not yet been introduced into the MCU. And I just wanted to say that because I know we have Hugh Jackman coming up in Deadpool.
His name, it's pronounced Hugh Jackman, and he's having 3 Tremboloni sandwiches a day in preparation for being bigger as Wolverine than he ever has been. But he's completely natural in doing it the old school way.
3, and he'll probably also have a role in Avengers. Secret
I'm also
Wars,
trying to scratch my
Hugh
back.
Jackman is the Wolverine from the Fox X-Men universe from, the bigger multiverse. But the Wolverine I'm going to be talking about in this video will be the MCU 616 version of Wolverine that Marvel Studios have hinted at, but not yet officially introduced, or as far as we know, even cast. And that when they do cast the character, they will.
He should walk out like, I'm sorry, I know we're supposed to just be watching the video. Hugh Jackman should literally walk out like just like fucking just neck down and just like the hugest that he's ever been and be like, I did it the old school way. And I know Ryan was, just working out a lot, and I was like, I need to have some more. And like he's got like a needle actually like coming out of his fucking deltoid and shit, and he's just like, I did it the old school way. All right, let's keep going. Sorry.
Somebody a bit younger, so that person can go on to play Wolverine for the next 10 to 20 years. So yeah, before we get into the video, I just wanted to clarify that just so no one's confused, since Hugh Jackman returning as Wolverine is a very hot topic of late.
So hot right now.
And then the other thing I should probably mention before we get into everything is that since we are going to be talking about the leaks for Captain America 4 and the Thunderbolts, that obviously we will be getting into some potentially pretty deep spoiler territory.
Let's go deep.
This is your official spoiler warning, just in case you don't want to be...
You know, what else is kind of interesting, and I'm going to do my best to, like, as we're going through this video, kind of correct maybe some of the things that have happened, because these movies, even these movies have changed a lot. Okay, so like originally, the Thunderbolts movie, and I don't even know, like when I say originally, like what does that even mean, right? But at one time, the Thunderbolts movie was going to be with the Thunderbolts team, like going against the Sentry. Sentry was going to be the main villain. Now, Sentry's on the team, and they're going to look for adamantium, and Sentry's going to slowly snap. And then they'll fight Sentry in the Void at the end of the movie. Right? So, but like, I wonder, because Calty said he did a lot of this recording in December. A lot has actually changed, maybe from then. So let's just let's get informed. Let's make corrections as we go.
Any specific information.
Maybe he's got it all right. Who knows?
And also, if you missed it, I did post a new long video yesterday about Avengers Secret Wars, Ant-Man Quantumania, the Marvels, and the connections between the different multiversal MacGuffins like the Ten Rings and the Bangles. So if you missed that video, you should check it out.
We didn't miss that video. It was great.
With a bunch of other recent videos. And then lastly, just one other thing, and that is that there will not be any super thanks questions at the end of today's video because I answered all of them in yesterday's video.
Cool.
But if you'd like to leave a super thanks with any questions in this video, then I will answer your questions in the next video, or just give you a shout out if you didn't leave a question. So yeah, just throwing that out there that any super thanks questions from yesterday's video or today's video, I will answer in the next video.
Sweet.
But anyways, I think that's it for all the introductory stuff. So now let's get into it and talk about Wolverine and the Thunderbolts and Captain America 4 and all that stuff.
That's the actual music for the Thunderbolt movie. I shouldn't have leaked that out.
Now this is more like it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
well.
Wow.
Things are about to get weird. So when they do, we're not gonna need a Captain America. We're gonna need a U.S. agent.
Okay.
I like it.
So as I'm sure many of you already know, This past
Bow,
month, there's been some
bow.
huge plot leaks dropping
Fucking
for both
huge.
Captain America 4 and the Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
And these leaks are coming from very reliable sources who have gotten a ton of stuff accurate in the past on multiple movies throughout Phase 4. And it's worth noting that usually with movies like this, there's script rewrites and stuff changes during filming. So I'm sure that stuff will change and that this won't be exactly what happens once the movies come out. But at this point in time, these leaks seem like a pretty good indication of what's going to happen in those two movies.
True, double true.
Okay, so what these leaks say about Captain America 4 is that much of the movie is going to revolve around the return of Thaddeus Ross.
Yes.
And according to the leaks, the reason that Thaddeus Ross will be so important in these movies is because at the beginning of Captain America 4, it will be revealed that Thaddeus Ross has become the newly elected president of the United States.
Yeah.
And according to the leaks, it says there will be multiple other villains in the movie as well besides Ross, and that these include characters like Valentina and the Leader, among a few others.
Yeah.
But that the main antagonist of the movie will be President Ross himself.
True.
And the leaks also say that a big part of the movie will include President Ross bringing back his super soldier program, and that this will probably be what ultimately leads to him becoming the MCU version of the Red Hulk, which it says that will happen in the movie as well. And then as far as Sam goes and what he will be up to in the movie, it says that Sam will be working to assemble a new team of Avengers so they can come together to take down President Ross.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, right? Like, because that does seem to be the baseline for the plot. And I'm wondering, where does Red Hulk tie into this? Is it going to be the case that Ross is hiding the fact that he's the Red Hulk? Is Red Hulk going to be something that happens in later on in the film or the end, and then that pops up in Thunderbolts? Not really sure. Also, where it is, you're going to get other Hulks popping up in this film. So it's really weird, right? And the current vibe of the film is that it's supposed to be a lot like Civil War, in the sense that it is going to be like an Avengers light film that is bringing together a lot of these different heroes and pinning them up against Thunderbolt Ross in some way. Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
And then as far as what happens in the Thunderbolts movie, according to the leaks, it says that much of the plot of that will revolve around the introduction of Robert Reynolds, a.k.a. the Sentry. And that Sentry will be created under the orders of Valentina, and that at the beginning of the movie, or early on in the movie, he will actually start off as a member of the Thunderbolts team, but that as the movie goes on, he will start to lose his mind, just like he did in the comics, and that this will lead to him going rogue and the Thunderbolts having to stop him at all costs.
Yep.
And I just have to say, on a quick side note, this sounds like it's being adapted straight from the Dark Avengers comics and the Dark Reign story and the Siege story, which just reaffirms my whole Dark Reign Phase 5 theory that I've talked about in past videos. Because
yes, and this is a theory that I've had for a long time, too. Somebody in chat was asking me a little bit ago, like, what's the deal with the Dark Avengers? And this is something I've been talking about for a long, long time. And I do think that what you're going to see in Captain America New World Order and in the Thunderbolt movie is essentially going to get a lot of the Dark Avengers story and that Siege story coming into play. And it seems like rather than having Norman Osborn, who is granted all of these powers after Secret Invasion, it could be the case that instead that position is now going to be given to Thunderbolt Ross. Harrison Ford is Thunderbolt Ross. And Ross will do a lot of the same things that maybe Norman Osborn was doing. But maybe they're going to sort of split some of that with Val as well. It's hard to say. And even though he hasn't touched on it now or yet, I think he will. Adamantium and the Tiamat Island is also a really important part of all of this. It's pretty wild.
For a long time now, I've been saying that once Marvel Studios gets to an eventual Thunderbolts movie, that I thought they would probably be adapting the Dark Avengers and Dark Reign story.
Look at this panel, bro. This is like the legendary panel from the Dark Avengers run, and it's just so damn cool, bro. What a good time in the comics.
And that it wouldn't just be for the Thunderbolts movie, but for the other grounded
Look at that shit
projects coming out around that same time. And based on these leaks, it sounds like that's exactly what's happening.
Yep.
But that's
Yep.
really something I should talk about in a future video, because if I start talking about that, then this video will be way too long and we'll be here all day. But just something to think about while we're talking about all this. But anyways, that's the general overview of the plot leaks for those two movies, Captain America 4 and the Thunderbolts. However, I did leave out one of the most important parts of the leaks.
What's that?
And that is that, according to the leaks, in Captain America 4, Marvel Studios are going to finally reveal what's been happening with Tiamat, the giant celestial body that's been out there just chilling in the ocean. And that's because apparently the body of Tiamat has adamantium inside of it, and this apparently leads to the U.S. government getting into a conflict or maybe even a war with a bunch of other countries and other villains because everyone wants to claim the island so they can mine it for adamantium.
It's very, very interesting. So some of the things that are, to me, a big question here is the adamantium from the Celestials. Is this something that came from the Celestials, and perhaps some of the spell that Cersei did where she was basically like turning him into stone, did that not work all the way? And is there like parts of the celestial body that are still intact with its own metal? Is it like where maybe some of it went in and did that? Or rather, was adamantium at some place within Earth, and then as this thing's coming out of like the core, does some of the adamantium then come out? It's very interesting. And the thing that's really cool about adamantium is like it's the strongest metal in Marvel. So vibranium obviously has all kinds of ability, power, and it's very strong. But adamantium is stronger. So in comics, it is adamantium that Ultron makes his ultimate body of, not vibranium, you know? And adamantium is like super big deal, dude. It's a super big deal. It's indestructible other than if it gets hit with like the anti-metal stuff from like the Savage Land or whatever, but it's like it's incredible. It's a very, very powerful, and I think one of the big ideas here that's going to push this plot forward is that it is more valuable or potentially more valuable than vibranium. Do you guys remember that around the time when Wakanda Forever was coming out, there was a lot of speculation about going to war against Wakanda, and it's even sort of teased out in that film that like they're going to war with Wakanda. They're going to try to get the vibranium. It's like this big sort of crazy shadow war thing happening. I definitely felt like that was a little much, and I was like, man, like they lost T'Challa, they lost the Queen, and you know Shuri's like having an identity crisis, and like, dude, like Wakanda already just realized that they're not even the only ones with vibranium. I was like, damn, dude, kind of feels bad. Like now everybody's just going to come after them. Well, now it seems like they're going to shift that. And I do wonder if this was like an idea sort of later into the process where they were like, okay, but what if instead we shifted it to adamantium and we did it over here with this island, and then we take the focus off of vibranium and Wakanda and all that stuff, right? I don't know. It's interesting to speculate on what it all means, but regardless, this does appear to be real.
And this is something that several different leakers have all been talking about and mentioning in their plot leaks. So from what I can gather by reading the different leaks is that the body of Tiamat containing adamantium and the conflict with other countries is something that will first be introduced in Captain America 4,
yes,
but that it won't be a huge part of the movie because it's really introduced so it can then become a bigger plot point in the Thunderbolts movie. Because remember,
I
the
kind of get that
Thunderbolts
feeling
movie will
too.
come out just 2.5 months after Captain America 4.
Yeah.
So these movies are coming out back to back, one
Ooh,
right after
dude,
the
next
other.
year's going to be lit,
And
bro.
according
I'm
to the
so
leaks,
excited
there
for these
will be a
movies
lot
back
of
to back.
stuff in
Woo!
Captain America 4 that is in there to kind of set up what happens in the Thunderbolts movie. So apparently what happens is after this whole concept with Tiamat and adamantium has been
It is possible.
in Captain America.
So that's kind of an interesting question from Michaela. Is it possible that Cersei created adamantium? It is. But again, that to me feels like maybe like, okay, think of it like this. Maybe celestial body made of something crazy and cosmic, and she's turning it to stone. But maybe there were like a few parts where like that transformation only goes halfway. And so it's like taking the celestial metal halfway to being stone, and then you can derive adamantium out of that. I don't know. Something like that could be happening, though. She could have created it.
America 4, then in the Thunderbolts movie, we will actually see the Thunderbolts team.
Cersei is like the Philosopher's Stone?
Tiamat Island to protect it from other villains or other countries that are there trying to mine the adamantium.
She's like a little
and according to
cosmic
one
cube.
of the leakers, Marvel Studios is also planning on turning the body of Tiamat into Genosha, which is the famous island.
So this is kind of interesting because Daniel RPK is the only one to ever mention this. Straight up, My Time to Shine Hello said no. She doesn't think that's what it's going to be. But the thing is, like, Daniel's really good. So one must wonder, like, is he speculating or did he potentially leak something that, like, damn near nobody knows about, that this is eventually going to become Genosha? I don't know. It's interesting.
Island from the comics that is a refuge for mutants. And I think that would be really cool, and it's something I could definitely see happening. But I think it probably won't be called Genosha in either of these two movies. It's probably something that Marvel Studios are just kind of setting up for the future, but won't be implicitly obvious right away. And I gotta say that the whole adamantium thing with Tiamat and the Celestials actually makes a lot of sense to me. Because when it came to the Celestials in the Eternals movie, Marvel Studios took almost all of their influence for the Celestials from the Earth X comic series.
That's true, yeah.
And in the comics, the Celestials from the Earth X universe were beings of pure energy who actually wore these giant suits of vibranium armor to contain that energy. So it sounds like Marvel Studios could be adapting that same concept into the MCU and doing kind of a similar thing, but instead of the Celestials' bodies of the MCU containing vibranium, they will instead contain adamantium, or
That's
maybe
pretty
even
interesting.
be composed of adamantium. So yeah, I think that theory makes a lot of sense, and it would be really cool, and obviously has big implications for the future, and mutants and Wolverine and all
And
of this.
Wolverine! Yeah. Ooh, Weapon Plus, you say. Okay.
As you look closer, you do see that there's bigger ideas at work here. When you see things like Super Soldier Program, suddenly you begin to understand how our whole universe came together.
Everything that the military does in the Marvel Universe after that is an attempt to recreate the Super Soldier. We've already seen in The Incredible Hulk, Bruce Banner, Emil Blonsky turning into the Hulk, turning into the Abomination. Those were all attempts at replicating what Steve Rogers was.
True.
General Ross and Emil Blonsky have a discussion about the Super Soldier Program.
In WW2, they initiated a sub-program for biotech force enhancement.
Yeah, Super Soldier.
Okay, so what we are going to talk about in this section is actually a theory that I've talked about in the past in some videos like a year or two ago. But I wanted to kind of revisit this theory again.
I'll put my sweater back on. I'm getting chilly.
And basically what I talked about in those older videos is how really Marvel Studios has already laid out a lot of the elements for an MCU Wolverine backstory going all the way back into Phase 1. Because as most of us know, in the comics, Wolverine got his adamantium-laced skeleton and claws after he was experimented on under the Weapon Plus program with the Weapon X project. And the Weapon Plus program was started with Project Rebirth. And we know that in the MCU, Project Rebirth was created by Abraham Erskine and Howard Stark back in the 1940s. And that's how Steve Rogers was turned into a super soldier and became Captain America. So in the comics, Wolverine was Weapon X, also known as Weapon 10.
Right.
But Steve Rogers was actually Weapon 1. He was the first super soldier that was created under the Weapon Plus program. And this is significant because not only Project Rebirth, but also the Weapon Plus program have already actually been introduced
That could be true.
to the MCU.
That could be true,
Because
Dirt
like
Wizard.
I said, Project Rebirth was, of course, introduced back in the 1940s in Captain America the First Avenger. And then the Weapon Plus program was actually renamed as the Weapons Plus program, and it was first introduced back in 2008 in the Incredible Hulk movie.
Whoa.
Because the Weapons
they've
Plus
laid the
program
groundwork.
was actually the name of the military super soldier program that was overseen by General Ross And this was the program that initially gave Emil Blonsky the serum that ultimately led to him later becoming the Abomination.
Interesting.
And another thing that's revealed in the Incredible Hulk movie is that Bruce Banner was actually also working for the Weapons Plus program when he was first transformed into the Hulk. Now, Bruce didn't actually know he was working for that program because Ross lied to him and told him he was working on a different project, and this led to Bruce testing a gamma-radiated sample of the super soldier serum on himself, not knowing what it was, and this is how he first became the Hulk. So in the MCU, Abomination, Hulk, and Captain America's origins are all rooted in the Weapons Plus program.
It's pretty cool.
However, those aren't actually...
You know, and it's also like, look, I really didn't like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the show. I thought it was booty cheeks, but there is an interesting through line from Steve into, you know, Bucky, pause, and, you know, the Weapons Plus program and super soldiers and like Zemo's stance on all of that and some of the things that they talk about there with even Isaiah Bradley. Bradley's apparently going to be in the fourth Cap as well. So it is kind of interesting how this could all tie together. And I really like the idea of bringing Sentry into this as well because he is created from a super soldier serum as well. So, yeah, it is kind of cool how, like, that through line exists.
Actually, the only characters in the MCU that also have connections to the Weapons Plus program. Two other current characters connected to the Weapons Plus program in the comics that we just saw in Phase 4 are Isaiah Bradley and Man-Thing.
Yep.
Because in the comics, Man-Thing was originally a man named Theodore Salas, and he was a scientist who worked under the Weapons Plus program. And during this time, he injected himself with an experimental serum and then shortly afterwards crashed his car into a swamp. And that's how he transformed into Man-Thing.
That's
and
wild.
As you know, Man-Thing was just
I don't even know if I knew
introduced
that.
Into the MCU.
I knew he was a person.
World
I didn't know he had a
Night.
super soldier serum.
Now, we have no idea what his backstory is going to be in the MCU, but it's possible it could be the same backstory or a similar backstory as to what it was in the comics. And if that's the case, then he could also easily have connections to the Weapons Plus program in the MCU as well. And then besides that, like I said, there's also Isaiah Bradley.
True.
And in the comics, what happened is shortly after Project Rebirth turned Steve Rogers into a super soldier, the military once again wanted to experiment on soldiers and see if they could perfect this super soldier serum. And Isaiah Bradley was one of those soldiers who had these horrendous experiments done to him. And he was the only one it worked on. And that is basically the same backstory that Isaiah had in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. However, the name of that super soldier program is never said out loud or confirmed. However, based on Project Rebirth being the program that made Steve Rogers, on top of the fact that the Weapons Plus program was still around in 2008 during the Incredible Hulk, it does seem like there's a good chance that the Weapons Plus program is also who did these experiments on Isaiah in the past. And it's not just those characters who have past associations and connections with the Weapons Plus program in the MCU. Howard Stark is another character that probably was connected to the Weapons Plus program in the past.
True.
Because we know that Howard was one of the founders of Project Rebirth back in the 1940s who helped Abraham Erskine turn Steve Rogers into a super soldier. But then we also know that he was still working on some kind of super soldier serum at the time of his death in 1991.
Right.
Now, we never got any clear backstory on what Howard was doing with this super soldier serum at that time.
I wonder if we will now.
That he was working for S.H.I.E.L.D., and in the comics, S.H.I.E.L.D. was also another organization that was connected to several different projects under the Weapons Plus program. Or another character
It's
that
all
could also
connected.
have worked for the Weapons Plus program at some point in the past in the MCU is Dr. Wilfred Nagel, who was introduced in Falcon and the Winter Soldier as the one who was creating the super soldier serum for the Power Broker. And that's the serum that John Walker ended up taking.
Sure.
Because in the comics, Dr. Wilfred Nagel worked for the Weapons Plus program in the past, and he is actually the one that experimented on Isaiah Bradley. Now, we did get a little bit of informational backstory on Dr. Nagel in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Dude, in-depth
and that
stuff
he
here,
worked
man.
for the
Love
CIA
it.
at one time,
Yo,
and then
take
was
care, Winter
recruited
Soldier.
by Hydra. but we never got a ton of backstory, so it's possible that where he learned to create the super soldier serum could have been working for the Weapons Plus program back during his time at the CIA before the Weapons Plus program was shut down. And another interesting detail that relates to this goes back to the Incredible Hulk movie, and that is that the Stark Industries cryo chamber that held the Weapons Plus super soldier serum is labeled saying that this serum was created by a Dr. Reinstein. And this is interesting because in the comics, both Abraham Erskine and Wilfred Nagel both used the name Dr. Reinstein as an alias.
Interesting.
Now, chances are nothing will probably come of that, but it is an interesting Easter egg, and it's definitely something that Marvel Studios could always tie back to if they wanted to kind of give some backstory and origins to the Weapons Plus program if it does become a bigger part of the MCU's future, especially with characters like Red Hulk and Wolverine coming up. But anyways, my point is, why I'm kind of rambling about all these different characters, is that in the MCU, almost every version of the super soldier serum that we've seen is either directly or indirectly connected to Project Rebirth and the Weapons Plus program.
True.
And once Wolverine is finally introduced into the 616 universe of the MCU, there's a very, very good chance that his origin story will also be largely connected to the Weapons Plus program as well because of the Weapon X project. So, with all of
So maybe he'll get into this in a second here, but the thing that's like weird about Wolverine, right, especially in the 616, is like Wolverine is old. He's been around for a long time, and because of his healing factor, like he's basically immortal. So he's looked the same for like so long, right? With them establishing adamantium or seemingly establishing adamantium in the MCU next year, it seems like they wouldn't have had adamantium to create Wolverine. So therefore, it feels like Wolverine's going to be created, or at least have the adamantium put onto him like now. But what if that's not the case? What if there was something that happened a while ago, a long time ago, that they did actually have some adamantium, and what if they create Wolverine in the past with a different form of adamantium, and then that's how they're able to know that there's adamantium on Tiamat Island? I don't know. I kind of like don't love the idea of Wolverine, at least the Weapon Plus version of Wolverine, and him getting the adamantium, like popping up in 2024 in the MCU. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
that said, why am I bringing this up again in today's video? Well, like I mentioned earlier, there's multiple things that were mentioned in these new plot leaks for Captain America 4 and the Thunderbolts that lead me to believe that Marvel Studios are probably going to be bringing back the Weapons Plus program, and that they will also be using those two movies to further set up the introduction of the MCU 616 version of Wolverine. Now, the obvious thing that was said in the leaks that would help to hint towards Wolverine is the introduction of adamantium into the MCU. Because even though adamantium is a very popular metal in the comics that's been used for a bunch of different things, what it is definitely the most well known for is Wolverine and his claws. But the other thing that's mentioned in the leaks is how in Captain America 4, much of the movie is going to revolve around Thaddeus Ross, well now President Ross, bringing back and trying to perfect the super soldier serum.
Yeah, let's bring it back.
Eventually becoming Red Hulk. Because we know that back in 2008,
adamantium from nowhere,
at that point in time,
or
General
Galactus
Ross
in the
was
1960s,
the one
maybe
who was overseeing the Weapons Plus program, but that after what happened in Harlem with the Abomination, Nick Fury got the World Security Council to shut that program down. But if Ross becomes president in Captain America 4, and wants to restart experiments on perfecting the super soldier serum, it seems like the most likely way he would do that is by restarting the Weapons Plus program under the U.S. military. Or maybe he'll even restart it under the CIA under Valentina, since it was revealed in Black Panther Wakanda Forever that Valentina is actually the director of the CIA.
Yeah.
And another reason I think this makes a lot of sense, that I think Marvel Studios could very well be bringing back the Weapons Plus program in these two movies, is because in the comics, another character who got his powers thanks to the Weapons Plus program was Robert Reynolds,
Yes.
the Sentry. And how that story went down in the comics is that Robert Reynolds was...
And this was back in the day,
he was
too.
a tweaker, and he ended up breaking into this lab. And when he was in this lab, he found something that
He's just trying to get a fix, man. You know? Trying to make the pain go away for a little bit, you know?
he consumed, and what he consumed ended up being a serum of some kind. It was the Golden Sentry Serum. And this serum was created as a part of Project Sentry, which was a spin-off of the Weapon X project. Now, according to the plot leaks for the Thunderbolts movie, in the MCU, the Sentry will
Have a little more
instead be
coffee.
created under orders from Valentina, presumably because she's trying to create this ultra-powerful super soldier for her Thunderbolts team that she can send out to do whatever she wants, to do her bidding.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, then how exactly does Valentina do this? Who exactly is it that she orders to turn Robert Reynolds into the Sentry?
Yeah. How did this
Well,
happen?
like I said, we now know that Valentina is the director of the CIA and is going to be working with President Ross. So if Ross brings back the Weapons Plus program in Captain America 4, then that is likely what Valentina will use to have the Sentry created, similar to how he was created in the comics.
I hope Sentry looks so
But anyways,
damn
going
good,
back
bro.
to Wolverine and how this connects to him.
I hope he look.
obviously,
I hope
said,
they do his
there's the
abilities and
whole
powers and
adamantium
savageness
sideplot
just
in
so
these
well.
movies that seem like they will be a big connection to Wolverine and a big way that Marvel Studios are slowly starting to set him up for the future. But also, the introduction of Sentry could be another big step towards the introduction of Wolverine into the MCU as well, because of his connections to the Weapons Plus program and the Weapon X project. Now, from everything we've heard about Marvel Studios' plans for mutants in the MCU, it sounds like they want to first bring back some of the older Fox X-Men
Yeah,
characters
this is true.
in projects like Deadpool 3 and Avengers Secret Wars
True.
before they start introducing new versions of those characters for the MCU 616 universe.
True.
So that's why we are seeing the return of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in Deadpool 3 and Patrick Stewart as Professor X in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And
True.
we'll probably see more Fox X-Men characters show up in Avengers Secret Wars.
True.
So there's a good possibility that we won't actually see the introduction of any new X-Men characters that are played by new actors until we get to Phase 7.
So I don't know that that's exactly the case, but that does seem to be what's happening. And it's possible, though, that you'll get some of the new mutants, but you're not going to get like full on focus, and you're not going to get like the X-Men proper or anything like that. But I think it is possible you're going to start to see mutants pop up all over, because like Namor, Miss Marvel, you know, they've already popped up, and you can even see a 616 version of maybe Logan or something pop up as well.
However, that definitely hasn't stopped Marvel Studios from laying out multiple hints to those characters in projects in Phase 4. Because there were a couple of different hints at Wolverine and other X-Men characters just recently in the She-Hulk series.
She-Hulk
For instance,
doesn't
there was
exist.
the end credits arc.
What is he talking about here? She-Hulk doesn't exist. It's not real. It can't hurt me.
Showing different sneakers that hinted at a bunch of different X-Men characters like Wolverine and Cyclops in one of the episodes. But the really big Easter egg from She-Hulk came in one of the earlier episodes, where we saw an article headline on Jessica's computer that said something about a man with metal claws.
No, it doesn't
getting
count.
into a bar fight.
No, it didn't happen. It's not real. No.
And that Easter egg was actually a pretty huge deal, in my opinion, because it's by far the most direct reference to Wolverine we've ever gotten in the MCU. And it's important because it means that Wolverine already exists in the MCU 616 universe, and that we just haven't seen him yet. Because with the multiverse being introduced in Phase 4 of the MCU
for like
a
60
long
seconds,
time
so
now,
I have no
there's
idea
been
what just happened, but I
rumors
think
about
we're
the
okay.
possibility of Marvel Studios using the multiverse to introduce mutants into the MCU 616 universe. And of course, we do know that mutants do exist out there in the multiverse because we know Hugh Jackman is returning to play Wolverine.
Dude, look at this
Deadpool 3.
100% natty physique that he was able to achieve when he looked better as an older man than he did when he played the character when he was younger. It's crazy what you can do when you just do it the old school way.
And we saw Professor X and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but those aren't mutants of the 616 universe, those are multiversal mutants. And with characters like Kamala Khan and Namor now being confirmed to be mutants in the MCU, on top of something like this Wolverine Easter egg in the She-Hulk series, that would seem to indicate
I just blacked out
that
again.
characters
What was
like
what was he
Wolverine
talking
and
about?
probably other X-Men characters have actually existed in the MCU 616 universe for a long time now. We've just never seen them show up in any past MCU projects, and when they do finally show up, I'm sure Marvel Studios will come up with some reason why we've never seen them before.
Probably Professor
And
X.
once we finally get to the introduction of those characters and the introduction of Wolverine, the 616 version of Wolverine, it allows Marvel Studios to do all sorts of cool stuff with him that connects him to the MCU's past. You know, they could do a Wolverine origin story or prequel
Somebody said
movies.
more plates, more dates video on Josh. Yeah, except that video would be a totally different tone than most of his stuff. And he'd be like, well, you see here, his physique looks like shit. He's got all this fat in his face. And yeah, just it appears to be just a total fat ass. So I'm going to say natural and also not good.
Some kind if they wanted to. And in that, they could show Wolverine going through the Weapon X program, and they could even show him having interactions or battles with other characters in the past that were around back then. Like they could include Isaiah Bradley or Steve Rogers or the Winter Soldier. I mean, just the fact that Wolverine already exists in the MCU really does open up a lot of possibilities.
It does if it was real. The problem is I can't take anything in She-Hulk seriously.
At this point, I think I've got.
I can't take anything that happened in She-Hulk seriously. I have wiped it from my memory, like Men in Black. No, it's not real. It can't hurt me. It didn't really happen. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know what it is? You know what time it is? You know what time it is? It's almost 1. Oh my God. Been streaming for a while. You guys are so crazy with these longer streams. Okay, let's get into some of the Q&A. Let's get into some of the super chats, the member chats, and just in general, the other things that you guys have been talking about. Let's go over some of these and then we'll call it a day, okay? Showroom Saba says, best decision I ever made was to become a Nerdvenger. Much love to you and Elisa and the little one. Thanks for making weekdays a little bit better. Well, I appreciate it, Showroom Sabers. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate the support. A $20 holla, holy mother lover for Greet Pack says, Josh, quick update. My cat still won't lay off licking his hiney like a maniac. He is now pulling all-nighters. Cones don't work. The hot sauce was a costly mistake, but his abs are amazing. Thought you should know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you're going to have to do. Maybe you've got to put a bunch of duct tape over his butt. So, have you tried duct taping over his butt? A-Par says, you're always pulling into the tower. Don't you live in the tower? Where do you go? Doesn't Elisa know where you go fly around while in the suit? Oh, no. I live at home and then I fly into the tower. And I'm in the tower a lot. Sometimes I'm already in there. Sometimes, it's different things. Things different. Okay. Bismo says, just got word I got re-accepted back into my university since having to take a year long due to my surgery, starting back up this fall. That's incredible news, Bismo. I'm very happy for you, man. That's great. That is freaking great, man. Lee says with a 10 spot, since there is no Nerd Theory tonight, I'll catch you on the replay tonight on my way home after work. Have a phenomenal day. Appreciate you, Lee. Take care, man. Chibaweezy says, what if Fantastic Four ends with the group finding the TVA as they are preparing to prune the entire 616 verse, but only Reed is able to make it into 616? That would be wild. I actually do... man, sort of a side note. Do you guys think that there's going to be some really crazy reveals? Like, so John Campea has that thing, right, where he said somebody sent him 2 separate pictures of Tobey Maguire's wiener. Just kidding. Somebody sent him 2 separate pictures that got him really excited about the film. You think that that's real? Because, like, according to the leaks, I have no idea who that could be. You know what I mean? Like, I have no idea who that could be, but maybe it is some Fantastic Four stuff that's sort of flown under the radar. That would be great. As far as the Fantastic Four film itself, I think it's going to heavily deal with Kang. That's what I think. Mandalore says, missed the intro, but there is no Nerd Theory tonight? Now I got to delay my newest Bald Angry Josh picks. Almost as disappointing as the sequel trilogy. I see what you did there. Yeah, we'll be back at it next week, man, but yeah, no Nerd Theory today. Old Head Mike says, enjoy Margot, but she was the worst part of the Suicide Squad 2. Or Suicide Squad 2. Yeah, they focused on her a little bit too much. For sure. What do you guys think? Yo, in the chat, let me know right now. Y'all want a bunch of Harley Quinn in the new DCU? Like, are you hoping tomorrow James Gunn's like, it's all Harley Quinn all day? Here's the Harley this project. Here's the Harley that project. Here's a Batman and Harley project. You know, some shit like that. Wouldn't that be wild? Dawn says yes. If she's thicker, then yes. Oh, shit. Jennifer Holland? I have no idea who that is, but, you know, James Gunn's wife could maybe do it. Mariana says, Josh, what's your take on the Zach Levi Twitter drama after he criticized Fiverr? They attacked him even after he said his dad died. Unbelievable. Well, you know, I thought about a lot about this, and, you know, this is sort of a controversial subject, and I'm not sure what the right move is. So Mariana, I just need to speak honestly and openly from my heart and say that Pfizer has never done anything wrong. They are an incredible company that does nothing but help humans all over. And if you don't like Pfizer, you're evil and wrong and horrible. And Pfizer can do no wrong. And I am pro Pfizer, and Pfizer good, Zach Levi bad. Moving on. Old Head Mike says, Grace Jimmy Stewart Randolph. I don't know what that means. But yes. Jake Levine, holy mother lover, that's a very generous $50 holler. Says, yo Josh, you in theory are my fave YouTubers and I always love showing support, but I've been debating becoming a member on y'all's channels. Should I do it? Much love, Nerd Ventures for Life. You can't say Nerd Ventures for Life if you're not a Nerd Venture. I mean, technically I guess you can, it's a free country, but you know what I'm saying, Jake. And I thought I explained this shit earlier anyway. But thank you, that's a very generous super chat. In all seriousness, I appreciate it. Okay. Patrick said, these streaming numbers are all skewed. Do we really want She-Hulk to be 12 episodes at 48 minutes each just to make this list? No. Should use min watched over episode available to show actual popularity. While I do agree that it is skewed, I can't agree that it's so skewed that it's not relevant. I do think it's relevant. And as I explained when we were going over it earlier, what is the function of these shows? What are they there to do? You know, and I do think total minutes watched, how many minutes are people spending on a particular service, watching a particular piece of content, is incredibly relevant. But I do get your point. It'll be interesting to see, like, are there different analytics companies that will approach this differently? Do some of the studios report their own numbers in a different skewed way to combat some of these headlines? Because at the end of the day, the thing that's true that Grace brought up is that it's the headlines that are created that cause this to be bad or good for people, depending. Old Head Mike with a $2 holler says, man donated 10 Avengers sub to ask if he should sub. True. Very true. Chibawee says Marvel just needs to make R-rated content. People mostly associate things made by Disney with children, and that's why it's not taken seriously. I think there's truth in what you're saying, but I also think you can combat that problem without going hard R. You can make mature content. You can make content that's serious. And you don't have to make it hard R, but I see your point, and I do agree. Old Head Mike says, should I watch the cat episode of Sandman? Been avoiding it. Nah, it's whack. It's whack, at least as far as I'm concerned. RG2088 with a $5 holler says, Disney Plus needs better quality shows. Also, enough with these 6-episode seasons and 35-minute long episodes with 7 to 10 minutes of credits. Yeah, tell me about it, bro. Shit ain't right. Shit ain't right. Revival Fitness with a 10 spot says, normies are recommending other normies to watch The Boys. It is as simple as that. Fair. I don't hear anyone talking about Marvel. If it wasn't for you, I would have been done with Marvel after Thor. Oh, shit. You hear that, Feige? Make that shill check next month extra juicy. I'm doing the Lord's work over here. I'm picking up all the pieces of your broken-ass Phase 4 strategy. But no, I mean, to a degree, I think you're right, man. It's true. Like, this shit's just not compelling. Like, say what you will. It's not compelling. None of that content's compelling. You know, and it's not good enough to just have the IP's name on it. It has to be compelling. Nate Elston says, no! Reeves or Quaid for Galactus. Con! I think it should be Reeves. Phase 4 is important. Oh, I know it's important. You think I don't know, Mike? Mike, you think I don't know? You think I don't know? Mispiro Jr. says, I want the guy who is CGI'd as Kratos in God of War to play Galactus. That dude would be incredible. That dude's an awesome actor just in general. Seems like a solid dude, man. We'd be happy to have him in the MCU for sure. Nico James says, Brendan Fraser as Galactus and gimme Howard the Duck. I would love Brendan Fraser in the MCU. I don't think Galactus is the move, though. And then Baby Bug said that I was beautiful and I should be Dr. Doom. What a sweet, sweet person. Greet says, Josh, are cats' breath supposed to smell like potato salad and magic markers? Asking for a friend. 100%. In fact, if they don't smell like that, you need to call the doctor. So you're good. Junia says, quick off topic, why is Star Trek rarely ever covered or talked about by a lot of nerd news people? What's the beef? So I don't know if it's necessarily a beef. A couple of things going on here. Star Trek never broke into relevance outside of America. And I know there are some like people that in foreign places that like Star Trek. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it never broke out into international popularity, and a lot of other big IP did. So like Star Wars, internationally renowned. The Japanese love Star Wars. The Chinese love Star Wars. India loves Star Wars. Everybody fucking loves Star Wars. Star Trek, not so much. I also think part of this has to do with some of the... Because really, if you look at what Star Trek was, especially back in the day, it is a actual utopian future. So it presents this crazy future where, like, we don't need resources or money anymore and, like, all of these kind of ideas. And I think that just didn't connect with a lot of people. So I think Star Trek has sort of always had that problem. I've never really been able to get into Star Trek. Rhett says, I'm really hoping Galactus doesn't end up looking like a Celestial, but then again, that's an improvement over what Fox did. You think Glenn Powell could play Reed Richards? I want Glenn Powell as Cyclops. I think he would be an incredible Cyclops. Or the Sentry. And yeah, I don't necessarily want him to look like the Celestials, but it definitely would look better than the Cloud Monster, and we'll just have to see. I mean, at the end of the day, he kind of does look like the Celestials in the comics too, so, you know, we'll see. OK Audio says, adamantium being of celestial origin will make things interesting when Wolverine comes into the picture, directly linking Wolverine to the Celestials. Well, yes, in one way it does, because it links him as maybe one of the only people that could get through their armor or could actually, like, hurt a Celestial. That's pretty compelling. Dirt Wizard says, maybe the vibranium landed on Earth was a seed to the Earth with it, so the Celestial awaken and the mix it and creates adamantium. I like that. So what he's saying is, the meteor that originally landed in the story of the first Black Panther, where they're like, yo, we got this vibranium shit. This shit's awesome. Maybe that was like put into Earth to help the sleeping celestial that was in the core. And it becomes adamantium, but in its raw form is vibranium. I think that's kind of interesting. Red says, I'm pretty excited for Fantastic Four. When do you think we will learn who the cast is going to be announced? I think it's going to be Comic-Con. Kalen says, what if Oscorp is contracted to create Sentry? Well, we think it's going to be the CIA, and it's going to be Val. But I would love for Oscorp to be attached. I think... So the rumor is that Feige at one time was very interested in Norman and having Norman be a big part of things, and they were setting stuff up to maybe have it be Norman. But I don't know that he ever figured that out with Sony, and so it feels like to me he's replacing Norman with the Red Hulk a little bit. But we'll have to see. Anyway, y'all, is there any other last minute stuff you guys want to talk about? Anything else you want to go over? I'll hang out in the chat for like 5-10 minutes, and we're gonna get on out of here, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna get on out of here. Again, excited for the DCU announcements tomorrow. Oh yeah, let's check that out. Yeah, Mandalore says, have you seen the new Spider-Man 2 game trailer? Yeah, let's watch it together. Here, I got it on my tweeters. This is only 15 seconds, though. What's the deal here? I mean, that looks like damn near photorealistic, dude. I know you like can't. It's like compressed because it's on Twitter and stuff. Is that in the game engine or is that like a cutscene? Either way, that looks freaking awesome, dude. That's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good one. I might have to finally get that PS5, which I said I was gonna do and I never did. Huh. What else is going on? Brent Spinner said to me that the sequel trilogy in Star Wars is equal to the known factor, made it quite lucrative in both the long and running series, unlike smaller franchises. Wait, what are you saying? Can you send that again in like a... I'm not sure exactly what you're saying there. Oh, Star Wars and Star Trek. That's the difference. Okay, gotcha. Angel Stark says, much love to all the Nerd Avengers. Chewy appreciates you. Remember, we value share and good energy as much as donations. P.S. RDJ vs. Kang. Yeah, so I'll bring this up again. Fellow Nerd Avenger, they need a little help for their puppy. I'm going to go donate to this later. We've got the link. We'll link it up in the Discord and things like that. But if you want to help Chewy and you want to help them be able to help with his surgeries, you know, a little bit helps. Every little bit helps, for sure. Go check it out. Go check it out. Brent Spider is Data? Oh, is that the actress that plays, or the actor that plays Data? What was the girl that they saved from the Borg? Was her name 9? Or something like that? Mandalore says, when you buy a PS5, I'll shave my head. Aw, shit. Oh, 7 of 9. Yeah, okay. Yeah, 7 of 9 was cool. Isn't she in the new season or whatever? Thoughts on The Last of Us? Oh, man, I'm really happy that people like it. It seems like it's a really good video game adaptation, which is great because the industry needs more of that. I'm not going to watch it because I don't like being sad. And I don't like watching shit that's going to make me really sad, so I'm not going to watch it. But happy that everybody else is liking it. I watched The Northman over the weekend, and that shit slapped. That was incredible, dude. The Northman is an incredible movie. Holy cow. Holy cow. What anime am I watching right now? We're thinking about getting into Demon Slayer. Elisa kind of wants to watch Demon Slayer, so I think we're going to do that. Yeah, Northman was good. Oh, did it bomb? I didn't even realize. It was good, dude. It was pretty chill, I'll say. Pretty chill, I'll say. Yeah, I like My Hero. It's pretty good. I have not seen Puss in Boots 2. Is it pretty chill? The Guyver anime? I don't know what that is, bruh. Demon Slayer is cool. I've already seen the first 2 or 3 seasons, but I'm going to rewatch them with her, and then we'll get current. Oh. Isn't there a correlation between the Eternals and Galactus? So in Marvel Comics, Galactus is a being known as Galen who existed in a prior version of the universe. And he survives like the destruction of the universe and the Big Bang of the new universe, but he's transformed into the being known as Galactus. And so there's a little bit of a connection there. They have similar powers. They both tap into like the power cosmic or whatever, but I've seen some of the trailers for that movie, you people. It seems kind of fun. Is it out yet? It's almost Ant-Man month. I know, I'm excited. Who do you think would be a good fit for the 616 Wolverine? I like Taron Egerton, Zac Efron. I think they could do it. New trailer, supposedly? Ooh. Classic, like a redone series. Okay. Okay, I'll have to check that out. I think Ant-Man's going to be great, man. I'm pretty excited for Ant-Man, and I have just this feeling, like, Elisa and I have been talking about this. I actually haven't put it in, Elijah. I appreciate the 2. I haven't put it in yet. I'm going to get it, put that in there later, and then we'll test it tomorrow, and we'll test it on Wednesday, too. But, oh, and by the way, guys, the stream on Wednesday might have to be later. It might be an evening stream. I'll keep you guys updated, but they might do that power thing that they were going to do last week. They might actually do it this week. So, but yeah, like, dude, I'm excited for Ant-Man. I just got this feeling, man, it's gonna blow us all away. We're all gonna get so hyped up about Phase 5. It's gonna be cool. Yeah. Babu Frick emote win? Yeah, Ant-Man's gonna be good. Power or POW? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Savage Avengers, the 2099 with the 2099 Doom and the 2099 Punisher and Ultron. It was so cool. I know, dude. There's some great stuff happening in Marvel Comics right now. I am excited. All right, everybody, I'm going to get on out of here. Much love. I appreciate you all. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, we'll be streaming again on Wednesday. Video coming out today about Galactus, Fantastic Four, going in depth on that stuff. That should be really, really cool. Got a cool Star Wars video that should drop tomorrow. We'll, of course, cover the James Gunn DCU, where his wife's going to be every single character like Eddie Murphy from back in the day. It's going to be fantastic. Can't fucking wait for that. So look out for that, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. We'll be talking about all that DC shit, man. We'll be talking about that DC shit, man. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? James Gunn's gonna come out and he's gonna talk about some superhero shit, DC shit. I'm telling you right now, everybody's gonna turn on him. They're gonna be like, that's it? That's what you've been cooking up, James? That's what you're gonna do with your shit, James? Man, Josh was right. Look, Wednesday, everybody's gonna be like, Josh, you were right. Oh my God, I can't believe we trusted this guy. Should've known. Should've fucking known. Or maybe not. I guess we'll have to see. I, for one, am keeping an open mind. I, for one, am being, optimistic and, let this man cook. Let this man cook. We'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens. So, we'll experience together. It's going to be so fun. All right, everybody. Make sure you open up your third eye. Wash out your stinky butt. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water, getting exercise, getting some fresh air, getting some sun. And I'll see you guys later. Take care.